Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. So, on today's episode, we still have a little bit of time before we get back together with Kim. Make it sound like we broke up or something. We're just spending a little bit of time on our own into the night and talking to some people that we may not want to have Kim around for. Mostly Smoker on the balcony. So we're going to see what sort of mysteries we uncover in that conversation about Harry, potentially. And we're also going to continue our conversation with Joyce and follow up on some of the things that we learned in our conversation with Everard Clare. We're still tying up some loose ends here, and we're going to see if we can try to understand what the stakes of the final confrontation will be. All that's coming up, so I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome back. Okay, so... I was a little too shaken and stirred by my conversation with Joyce. It had me so radicalized that I really just needed to sort of decompress with Idiot Doom Spiral there. And then I was going to go to sleep and carry on with my day, but I forgot. There's actually still maybe one or two things we should do without Kim. One is to go talk to our friend, we want him to be our friend, on the balcony. Who's not on the balcony, he's in the Whirling in Rags. So we'll go talk to him. We're supposed to do that without Kim present. And I think we'll also, I think there's maybe some dialogue we missed with Joyce. Thank you, some of you who let me know that I can still ask him some things about Everard Clare. So we'll do that as well before we take our little sleep to the next day. Okay, let's go talk to our friend. We want him to be our friend. From the balcony. I think he will be highly impressed by my Kvalasund. What do you guys think? Whoa. I don't think I've ever been here with no one else. This feels unusually moody. Why does this feel like somehow intimate? Titus isn't here, the Howdy Boys, the Howdy Boys, the Rowdy Boys, the Hardy Boys. They're not here. Yeah, I love this line. I'm practically a shrink without the diploma. All we've got here are a couple of what appear to be romantically acquainted people. The guy who's all about money and the smoker on the balcony. And of course, Gart. Even the music's different. This feels like... Did he set this up? Is this designed to woo me into his sweet charms? Can't do it with class. Don't do it at all. Can't disagree. Okay. Wait. This is too intimidating. I'll just kind of can I... Wait a second. Can I... Oh, yes. Okay, we've got him in the bag. Now we've for sure got him. Okay. Wait. What do we need to have? What's the most charming thing we can wear? Maybe our lieutenant's hat. That's pretty cool. Our found glove. I mean, like maybe he thinks that it's cool that we're matching. I don't know. Like he said, don't do it at all if you can't do it with class. I mean, what's classier than it's sort of like urban, like fitness wear. Is that what Fountain is? It's like a hoodie and some gloves. What appear to be two-tone loafers, a police hat, and dual utilities: a Kvalasund and a decorative sword. I mean, if Smoker doesn't fall for us immediately, then there is no hope for love in this world.
Hi again, Gendarme.
Oh, okay. We actually need...
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
We need composure, and we actually probably need to use a skill point. I'm sure that the people who, like, min-max this game fucking hate my playthrough because I have done nothing consistent with my skills. Like, I've not, like, really invested in them with any sort of plan. I'm just like, what do I need right now? It's very impulsive, which I feel like is relevant to Harry's character. What do I need right now? I need composure. I'm trying to swoon a suave gentleman. Okay. Okay. We'll ditch the loafers for the snakeskin. Actually, that works. It sort of matches the green stripe on our Kvalsund. Yeah, I'm sure people who like enjoy this game for its mechanical role-playing think my playthrough is extra stupid, but I'm not so interested in the mechanical role-playing as I am in the character role-playing, which I don't think is too far off of what we do in real life, which is, you know, no one's like that consistent with their self-improvement. We kind of just like try to do it all. We try to just fill out all of our skills all the time. Sometimes not fully. I have a colleague, a good friend of mine, who always makes fun of me whenever I say I do something half-assed. She's like, "Oh, okay, so you want to do it full-assed?" Like, yeah, I guess we very commonly say half-assed. No one says full-assed, but it does imply if you're doing something half-assed that you can do it full-assed. So we're not trying to full-ass anything. We are kind of half-assing everything. Okay.
Hi again, Gendarme.
All right.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
I'm dropping a point in composure for this. This is important.
Hi again, Gendarme.
Ah, we might even need to drop 2. What is it about the way he carries himself?
It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Nothing else. I guess it's just sports. Well, we are wearing a sports jacket.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Ah, fuck. Fuck it. We're very close to another skill point. We'll bounce back.
Hi again, Gendarme.
72%.
Could he be
Yes.
a member of the homosexual underground?
Shocking revelation.
Yes, this man is definitely one of the homos. I've seen them homos with my own eyes.
So I know that this is coming from Harry's point of view, and he's probably quite ignorant on these sorts of things. I just love the idea that his perception is so impaired of like social cues and things like that it's just taken him until now to sort of pick up on the vibes.
This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved.
And as we have also suggested, perhaps Harry himself has a little bit of a curiosity to this side of the world, or side of himself. Are you a part of the homosexual underground? I guess we're going to ask this.
The homosexual underground?
Ridiculous, I know. Look, it's the only option we're given. This is Harry's point of view. The smoker sits up immediately, his eyes wide with amused surprise. A honeyed smile lingers on his lips.
Why, yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate?
I knew this environment was too intimate to be just a coincidence. Yes, I want to hear more about this underground you're part of.
Oh, it's a pleasure group. A Sub Rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night.
What about Sundays? What about Thursday night?
Or Thursday night. Sometimes the congregating doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life.
I kind of appreciate how softly he's initiating us to this world. He's amused. He's amused by our ignorance, I think. Wow. He's really lost. Why do you convene? What do you do?
Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Rebishul have to hold on to, the true symbols of security, the meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage.
So this to me strikes me as like, this is probably the prejudice that is levied against him and the community in this world. Like, He's kind of saying this sarcastically. That's what we do. We destroy the nuclear family, like. But obviously there are people who really think this in probably this world and our own, which is in one way amusing and one way quite sad.
Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore.
I like the sound of that, actually. Does it have anything to do with disco?
Yes, we listen to a lot of disco. Some say we engineered disco to spread our vision of a vertiginous, ever-changing society, where all there is a razzle-dazzle of gold.
I love this.
We are going to change the family unit with all this razzmatazz and finger dancing. And with mysteries. Of course, the mysteries are also of sexual nature, very esoteric.
I do like disco. Maybe I should get into it.
You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it.
Yeah, Harry, look. I appreciate Smoker on the Balcony's like very soft, very kind, somewhat sarcastic, playful way of responding to Harry. But yes, Harry, someone needs to sit you down and educate you a little bit. What if I can't remember whether I'm in or not? What if I can't remember anything about my life, aside from the fact that I like disco?
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows, maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed.
That's possible. He circles his hand around you.
I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look.
This is going to be like a 20-hour mind project for me. 20 hours at least. I like the idea that we're a little bit flabbergasted. I have to think about it. I'm not sure.
Do think about it, officer.
This is going to be like a 20-hour mind project for me.
Absolutely wonderful. Bye-bye,
Okay.
gendarme.
Okay, so we've got something in our thought cabinet. What have we got here? You see mysterious strangers in the night, leaning against unlit doorways, engaged in hush conversation. Shadowy cabal exchanging looks. Cabal. Whispering in dark alleys and unmarked locales. A radical cell conspiring against the state. And perhaps even against man and woman. Was that a secret handshake? What's going on? Who are these secretive people? How will they accomplish their sinister and world-altering goals? And most importantly, are you one of them? You could be. Maybe you forgot. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, we're gonna open up one of our skill slots here. Can we just, like, forget something? It does take a skill point to forget things as well. I think I'd rather unlock some of these spaces. That was a nice sound. There's no research bonus. I really am curious about this one, but I also want to do the communist thing. I kind of want to do them both. We can probably do them both, right? This one I feel like is going to come more into play just in the conversations that we're having. Like more dialogue options. So we're going to do this one, but we will return to this one as well. Okay. Yes, we are not a full-on communist yet. We're merely a tourist right now. We're just curious. We're commu-curious. And also curious about other things. Okay, let me pop this bad boy back on. All right. We've got ourselves another little internal investigation to do for Harry. When he's ready. When he's ready. Okay. Now, what else did we need to do? we were going to talk to Joyce again, and see what she thinks about our conversation with Mr. Clare.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
It's night. Don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
Didn't she have another medical condition?
She's exposed to the pale. Were you not overexposed? Does that not cause insomnia?
Very keen of you, officer. I do also have sorderic syndrome from overexposure to the pale. It makes me roost in the night, like an owl. I almost never sleep anymore. If I do, it's for an hour. 4 tops. Go ahead. Ask me some questions. They are the only cure.
I will say I'm a little surprised by I'm surprised that I'm not by some of the reactions to my my prior conversation with Miss Joyce, where I salaciously said that billionaires are not humans. Like, obviously they are people, although I'm not like that concerned about hurting their feelings. They're gonna be fine, the billionaires of the world, that is, real and imagined. But I mean, like, their treatment of other people at times is quite inhuman. Like, the lack of an apparent desire to do more than they do with their wealth and status. I look at that and I'm like, you're not relating to the rest of us then at that point. You're not seeing the human struggle that your wealth and status provides you with an opportunity to do something about. And like, look, some of them do. Lots of billionaires give away plenty sums of money, but like, billions or trillions of dollars is like, yeah, it's more than some countries have. Like, it is a unfathomable amount of money. Like, they will make more money in a second of their time than I will make in a year. They will make more money in a day than everyone who has ever watched a video of mine will make probably in their lives. Like, that's how fucking much money it is. Like, it's ridiculous. I do feel like that does something to your mind. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it, to be honest. I'm not a billionaire. I don't want to be. I don't want the kind of like warped perception that I feel like that may create. Obviously, they're humans. I don't think that they're subhumans. That's quite a stretch. I just very rhetorically meant like their level of status and wealth puts them on basically like a different planet than us in terms of like how much of the world they have access to, the things that they have to worry about. Yeah, so I'm sorry to the billionaires of the world, but I'm sure they're going to be just fine, even if I was a bit salacious.
Her smile is bitter. There is no cure.
And at the same time, you know, as people, like everyone else, they're going to experience anxiety. And look, money can't prevent you from getting sick. So, like, I can connect with that, right? And so can Harry. But you have to have a very complex view of people to say that, like, oh, well, I can connect with someone who is sick, and yet they're doing terrible things to other people. So maybe I don't give some of my, like, limited bandwidth away always to these sort of causes. Like, lots of terrible people can be sick. Do I think it's sad that people get sick? Yeah, but like, they're also terrible. I don't know. Anyways, it was interesting. I have a lot of people who are like, you're exactly right. These are terrible people. They're inhuman. And other people who are like, I can't believe you're saying such horrible things about these characters. I will also say, guys, they're not real. They're not real people. They're fictional characters. And when I do an analysis of a character, I'm really not being as careful with my language as I would be with a real person. I feel like that should be kind of assumed, but sometimes I guess it's not. How you see me act on this series is not how I act in my professional work. Like, I really don't know why I have to clarify that, but sometimes I do. I'm just having fun here. I'm playing a video game. These people aren't real. I'm going to say basically whatever about them. They're going to be fine. But I'm also critiquing them in the context of their fictional world. And if there's some relatability to them that you have, that's okay. But don't translate what I'm saying about this fictional character to someone real in your life, where you're like, I can't believe you said that thing about Joyce. Joyce reminds me of my friend, so you're saying this about my friend. Like, that's a really unfair translation of what I'm saying. So if I say that she is inhuman, I don't mean that someone you know that's like her is inhuman. That's okay. Anyways, where is our dialogue about Everard Clare? I've been dealing with Everard again.
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say,
Mr. Everard helped me find my gun.
Stupendous. I didn't think he'd pull through.
I'm not going to flash it around. So let's just say I'm glad I found it. Give it a little pat. I will flash around the Kvalsund, though.
Thank God. And indeed, Mr. Everard as well. In this investigation, one may have use for a firearm. You wouldn't want to get caught with your pants down.
Guess that's true. I guess we'll inform her of what's going on. I mean, I don't really care about either of them, to be honest. I'm playing both sides so that I always win. He asked me to deliver an envelope.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
Here.
Here? Oh, no. What does that bloated hellbat want with my little cinder-block town?
Yeah, it's yours, all right.
it's clear the village has already grown dear to her. Strangely so. Why did she come here?
It's a good question.
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what he has in store for this place. Probably a statue. It's a statue, right? A giant statue of him. Or better yet, his twin brother. Practically the same thing, but makes him seem less like a psychopath.
Interesting use of that word there, Joyce. I'm just gonna let that one sit on its own. You're quite fond of this village, aren't you?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinaise. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
Okay, so she had some sort of sweetheart here. You've been to Martinaise before?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Yes, I always feel very, very much like I'm slumming when I have my own boat. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm going to stop apologizing. I'm no longer a sorry cop. I'm not sorry. What she's saying sounds fake to me. I don't care if you like her.
Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
Yeah, like... You probably were the worst thing that happened to the coast.
Oh no, she's sentimental, all right. Why would she come here otherwise?
For whatever reason, though, Harry seems to be highly empathetic to her in a way that I am not. which is interesting because empathy is jumping in here quite a bit. Yeah, why did you come here then to this chicken?
I'm over-radiated, Harry. I do silly things sometimes, out of Pale-related illness. Like sail over here. The moral of the story is, do not spend 22 days a year in Pale transit. Don't waste your 20s slumming it with your stupid friends. And don't deliver Everard Clare's mail.
Her bony fingers pointed like an arrow at your chest.
Are you satisfied, Detective? What else can you tell me about your mail delivery quest for Everard? Do you think it will improve the place?
Look, there's obviously regret here, which is an emotion. So she's not devoid of emotion. And look, guys, I work with people all the time who are in the process of changing themselves. Maybe they have criminal history. Maybe they've done some things that are quite horrible. But like, I can still sit in front of them and work with them and empathize with the emotions that are present when there is an investment in change. When I'm sensing that this person is like truly looking for a way to act in amends of those things. I just haven't seen that from Joyce yet. She's expressing this regret, but I don't know what she is really doing differently. I mean, like I said, I don't see her footing the bill for this little village that she cares so much about. I also see her doing similar things as Everard, which is like keeping me on a string because I'm a useful agent of change for her. And yeah, she's like informing me of certain things. I think she's just kinder about it, but I think she's just like the other side of the coin.
She's pointing it quite hard in there. Feels like a knife.
He wants to build a youth center here for the children of Martinaise.
A youth center with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's his goals are less altruistic than they appear, but like you're really not so much better.
Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him.
What would you prefer otherwise?
First, there won't be a youth center. Whatever he has told you or the residents, there'll be something horrific, perhaps even worse than a statue. So, yes, I do.
Like what?
A fishery. I've been speaking with Lillian here. She gave me the idea. The infrastructure is all here, and with my connections, sadly, it's just one of the million things I'll never get round to. I just have to accept that I'll never be the rich candy girl who goes around solving people's problems with money.
I guess not. I guess you could do it, but you just won't. So you're sad you can't buy the place?
Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
Look, I'm gonna actually stop defending my opinion about these two characters. I'll just say again, stop translating what I'm saying about these characters or the way I'm being with them to anything related to how I act or think professionally in my real job with real people. These are characters in a game that are just the stand-in archetypes for a real category of people that I have complex feelings about. Whatever you're imagining about like Brady the therapist it doesn't apply here in these conversations. But for whatever reason, I feel the need to keep like clarifying my view on them, and I'm just going to stop doing that because I don't think it's helping.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories.
Me too.
Has this errand yielded you any information?
I feel called out by this statement here. I'm being a little more defensive than usual because I really do like. I can't believe that sometimes when I do something or act a certain way or whatever, and someone's like, wow, this is why I don't trust therapists. Like, I'm not at work right now. I'm like just fucking goofing around here. I'm like, I'm like very, very, very careful and composed when I'm at work. I'm not at work. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making?
The cook makes it to keep the strikers drunk. He helps them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
Yes.
Why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
An act born of sympathy for the working man. I set fire to the fumes of struggle. Sure.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do. What else?
He asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, I mean like a real door to someone's house.
Oh my. A real door?
I scared this Gary for Mr. Clare. He got pretty scared. Yeah, let's not out Gary here. Not that I really have that much. I don't really care that much about Gary either. I helped scare someone for Everclear.
My. What I'm hearing is you inspected a premises because you suspected that it was involved in the narcotics trade.
Yes.
And in the process, you turned up some information relevant to your investigation. Only from Everard, surprisingly.
Everett says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union, and now one's dead.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She was worried for a moment that she's overplayed her hand by not sharing info sooner. Then she settles down, curious to hear more.
The Union's militant wing organized the lynching.
Yes. That's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly.
Me too. The Rowdy Boys, as I call them. Everett asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
They've singled out a suspect.
It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
Her eyes smile and a tingle runs down your spine.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
No, Harry, don't give in to this. That's all I've got to say.
Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about.
Ma'am, this whole thing is a takeover.
A takeover?
It's not a strike. You're being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal. Yeah, why not?
If they're taking it...
She looked towards the colorful mountain of crates, like toy blocks rising above Martinaise.
Then we're talking about a war. Everard needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
I would like a resolution to this that involves no violence. Can they just talk about it? I can ask him to let you in.
No. It's naive of me. He sent you. This is the negotiation now. And if he does not change course, it will be a war negotiation, Detective.
He's ready for a war. They all are.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to suffer because these two fucking people need to play politics with this place. Have I seen them? Is the Union really prepared to take on Cornell? I don't know that. It will take a long time to kill them all. A lot of lives will be lost.
What do you suggest I do?
It's not the RCF's job to make these decisions. Okay, we're a little less avoidant today than we were before, Harry. I wish there was a disco option. First, will this affect your decision-making process?
Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Naturally.
A constrictor knot of contrary motives. Greed, fear. There may be a way to affect her through these microscopics.
I wish there was a disco option.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one.
Damn it. With considerable regret. The workers should have the harbor. Yeah, that's probably the case. Let's go with that.
Do you think it's within my authority to give it to them? Do you think I can control the board and the shell-shocked mercenaries they've sent?
No, but you gave them the direction to be here.
It is. It is well within her authority. It's been clear for some time that this woman is more than she lets on.
Thank you, Authority, for chiming in, finally. And seeing through some of the snake oil that we've been hearing. It's because I'm wearing my RCM cap. What are you going to do?
What will I do?
Yeah, it is within her authority. She's just not exercising it. Just like she's able to do something more for this village, and she's, I'm just going to run out of time. Well, if you're going to run out of time because you're sick, you could set up some sort of beneficiary for someone else to carry out the order. But she won't have the time to do it.
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown?
No, ma'am.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
8, is that a normal number?
It was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry. The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
Man, I would love, I know it's not going to happen because the studio is disbanded, but some sort of, side game or something detailing this expedition. That sounds so interesting. It sounds very similar to, what's that book series called? I've not read them. I just saw the movie Annihilation. Southern Reach, maybe it's called. I should get around to reading those. But I just love the idea of exploring some sort of scientific anomaly that is impacting reality and people's perception in some way. Obviously, this is probably more related to the story Stalker, Tchaikovsky's Stalker. And the Stalker lore. Except it wasn't Pale that was affecting people, it was radiation. Which is a parallel to real radiation experience in, the Soviet region and that sort of thing. So all very interesting. I would love something exploring this, though.
There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
And I want it to be written in the language of shivers. So brilliant. Put your hand in the rain.
The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God. Après la vie, la mort. Après la mort, la vie encore. Après la mort, le gris. Après la gris, le monde encore.
Okay, let's see if my French can translate. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world. I don't know what gris is. After the world, something. After that thing, the world again. Gris, yeah. Not sure.
After life, death. After death, life again. After the Isola, the
Isola.
Pale. After the Pale, Isola again.
After the Isola. Okay, so Le Monde, Isola in this sense. That's what they called it. Le Gris. I think, yeah, I think I was thinking like the gray. The pale, basically. Rough translation.
On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lézargique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen.
She looks to the sky, then back at you.
4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Leaving us here.
On Caillou. The Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later,
The great skua was the first bird they saw.
the first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
Man, the fucking lore of this game is so rich. It's great. I seem to have it in for it. Or it for me. I broke one.
In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls.
There was a sting in your heart at the mention before, when she said its name.
And this is the last break we
The
got.
nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolé. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations. Gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us. Or had done to each other. But here, there was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol, the suzerain.
Well done, suzerain. Yeah, what happened?
Revolution. Poverty. And the mercurial rise of capitalism.
It's quite a succinct story of how we got to this point. Although I can imagine it being told a different way from someone else's point of view. It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
What will you do?
I will take your advice, Lieutenant Gefreiter. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
I thought it was not within your means.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
And what about the next time?
This won't be the last strike. There'll be another, then another, until the rule of law unravels.
What happens will happen.
She takes the end. She takes the end in her rain-slick hand and starts untying the knot.
The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinaise, if you handle the situation on the ground.
What? What? What did I tell her? That the workers should have the harbor? Is that the union? I don't even know. I just want neither of these people to get what they want. You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
She generally avoids that term with her employers.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board, probably a partner.
You are the Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
What? Of course I have superiors.
That's right. We're all answerable to someone.
Even after all this time, I still don't really understand who you are or what your angle is.
I have not deceived you. I showed you who I was. Rejoice Layton. Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along are they?
The confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
So have we basically convinced her to stop the power play with Everett Clare and leave? And now we're sort of just up against like the lingering mercenaries that are already out here to do their thing. When will they make their move? Where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Nether Reacher of the Forbidden Swamp. Isn't everyone a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
You're overradiated.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. And I've got it bad.
She would die to return to it. The Pale, the past, anything one can return to.
How do you keep it together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola, the Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Islary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
There's cat activity in the background. Okay, well, we don't know what the psychological regimen is. Let's remain neutral. Goodbye, Joyce Messier.
Watch out for yourself. They will strike soon.
Okay. Whatever. I'm not entirely sure what the implications of these actions are. I guess we will find out. Well, that's going to be our episode for today. And I guess, unless there is anything else that I need to do on my own, we will be having ourselves a little sleep. And probably starting... Oh, no, in the morning we got to go check out the defrosted ice crate. That's what it was. Yes. Maybe we can do this as well. All right. Thank you once again for enjoying, if you enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't enjoy it. Maybe what I'm saying pisses you off, and that's okay. We can have different opinions about things. That's the beauty and fun of discussion. Well, that all said, tomorrow we continue our case for the missing mine of one Harry Dubois. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.